Hello everyone, welcome to the channel Chemical Engineer. I am Sai Yadav and in this video we are going to discuss about the phosphorus industries. So mainly we will cover the phosphorus. So how we are extracting elemental phosphorus. So we are going to see about it. So up till now if you haven't subscribed to our channel Chemical Engineer on YouTube as well as you haven't joined our channel on Telegram, then this is the right time, join us. Okay. So let's start the video. Okay, so we are discussing about phosphorus. In the previous video we have discussed about nitrogen based industries. Okay, so now we will discuss about phosphorus industries. So in phosphorus industries we should know basic about phosphorus. So phosphorus is obtained in a form of rocks. Okay, so there are rocks, a pathar, which is generally in the form of fluorine. Okay, so fluorapatite is the common name in which major rocks for the phosphorus are found. So its formula, if someone asks you, so you should know, being a chemical engineer, its formula should be including fluoride, that is F2, and other than it should have Ca10PO46 F2. So this is a general formula of fluorapatite rock. Okay, so fluorapatite is a rock of the phosphorus having fluorine. Okay, so main industries that we are going to see related to phosphorus are phosphorus based industries, phosphoric acid, ammonium phosphate, calcium phosphate, nitrophosphate. So generally in BTech course we will see phosphorus, phosphoric acid, ammonium phosphate and calcium phosphate, that are superphosphates. Okay, so these four we are going to see. So in this video we will be covering about only phosphorus. In the next video, that is based on the okay, so phosphoric acid. Okay, hypophosphoric acid or phosphoric acid. So next video is based on the phosphoric acid. So phosphorus, so phosphorus is obtained in the form of P4. Okay, so tetrahedral type structure is there. So P4 is the structure of phosphorus. So phosphorus is generally solid as well as liquid at high temperature. So here are the two forms of phosphorus. So phosphorus having two forms, red and yellow. Yellow phosphorus is unstable while red is stable. So always we use a red phosphorus. Okay, so yellow phosphorus having a molecular weight of 123.8. Then this is a 444.1 is its boiling 44.1 is the melting point of yellow phosphorus, while red phosphorus having melting point of 593 degrees Celsius. Okay, so above 441 we can create a red phosphorus, and the melting point of yellow phosphorus is 280 degrees Celsius. Okay, so this is all the MCQ type questions that GATE may ask. Now phosphoric acid, what is the use of phosphorus? So phosphorus is used about 70% for formation of phosphoric acid. So phosphoric acid is further used for food and detergent industries in USA, but in India phosphoric acid is used as the fertilizer mainly. Okay, so you should know. And yes, superphosphate, then two types of superphosphates are there, then POCl3, PCl3, all those are the different products we can produce from phosphorus. So this is a comparison between white phosphorus and yellow phosphorus, white phosphorus and red phosphorus. So yellow phosphorus is also known as white phosphorus. So phosphorus, it is orderless. Red phosphorus, let me tell you, red phosphorus is the stable one. So it is orderless, it does not show phosphorescence. So what is phosphorescence is the question 1 of this video. Then red phosphorus is a non-poisonous while white phosphorus is poisonous. It is highly reactive, so it is stored in water, while red phosphorus is less reactive, but then also we store it in water. Then P4 molecules are held by weak van der Waals force, while in the red phosphorus at the high temperature it gets covalently bonded in a polymeric structure. Okay, red phosphorus is actually not hazardous, while white phosphorus is a hazardous. So it does not catch fire at room temperature, while yellow phosphorus catches fire at room temperature. Okay, so this is a flow sheet. This is what our main topic as a chemical engineer is. So let us start flow sheet. Let us understand how we can produce it. So this is not only a flow sheet for phosphorus but also for phosphoric acid. Okay, so in phosphoric acid next video we will see two methods, wet method and electrical method or electrical furnace method. So this flow sheet covers the electrical furnace method. Okay, so in next video I will not discuss electrical furnace method, so please take care of it here only. Okay, so in the screen you may see first we have phosphate rocks. This is a grinder. So phosphate rock is grinded. We add coke. Okay, so why we are adding coke in a phosphate rock? So you should understand the chemical reaction. We will see in the next slide. Okay, so coke and breeze is of water. Okay, so coke, breeze and air, three things are added in the first step after grinding the rocks. Okay, so air, coke and grinded phosphate rocks are then mixed, then they are screened. Okay, screening of them is done. After screening, again coke, breeze is passed and sand is also given. So sand is nothing but silicon. Okay, so this is also given or added in a stream. Now after passing a filter, we directly pass this stream to a furnace. Okay, so sintering. Okay, so sintering is done here. Okay, sintering, what is sintering is question 2 of this video. Next, okay, so from here we get P4 and CO vapors, that is carbon monoxide vapors. Then we pass it through a furnace, electric furnace having electrodes of carbon having the diameter of 100 to 150 meters. Oh, centimeters, sorry 100 to 150 centimeter is the diameter of this. Okay, diameter, so diameter is 100 to 150 centimeters for this electrodes, carbon electrodes. Okay, in this electrode P4 and carbon monoxide vapors generally are formed from these phosphate rocks. And slag is nothing but CaSiO3. so the temperature of the furnace is 1400 degrees Celsius. It operates in a 3-phase 250 to 300 volt and AC power is used. Okay, so temperature is a must needed, 1400 to 1450 degrees Celsius. Slag, CaSiO3 is known as slag. It may also have FeSiO3. So this slag is separated from the bottom, air cooled, and a sheet type structure is made after air cooling it. Okay, so we have covered up to this part. Okay, so we have covered this part for phosphorus industries. Now we have P4CO and dust. Okay, so in order to remove dust we use this. We have already seen this in nitrogen industries. It is electrostatic precipitator. What is its use is question 3 of this video. Okay, so electrostatic precipitator removes dust. I have given answer, so only 2 questions are there up till now. So electrostatic precipitator removes dust, and after electrostatic precipitator we have got our product, that is phosphorus. Removal of dust, and then we have a condenser, water spray condenser. After this electrostatic precipitator we have water condenser. So in condenser what we do, we use water. Why we are using water, you should know, because of the property of phosphorus. So after washing it or condensing it, we have gained pure yellow phosphorus. Okay, so we get yellow phosphorus after this water spray condenser. Your answer should be clear. Water spray condenser gives yellow phosphorus. Okay, so removes CO. Okay, so CO gas is removed and then used for 1 minute, then it is used for furnace. Okay, so fuel, as a fuel. So after that, yellow phosphorus is collected under water. We have this water storage. So with water we collect yellow phosphorus because of its reactive nature. Then in order to convert it into a red phosphorus, we have batch converter. Generally we use batch converter. Okay, so in batch converter temperature is 250 degrees Celsius. So in batch converter nothing happens, just a temperature game. Okay, so here we have batch converter in which we give a residence time as well as time for the changing of bonds. Then we get a red phosphorus. Okay, so I forgot to say one thing. Yellow phosphorus is converted to red phosphorus at some temperature. We will see in reaction. After that batch converter we have Na2CO3 and H2O washer. Okay, so this is a washer section. So why we are using washer? That is to remove wastes, that is carbon monoxide gas if present. So H2O will wash it. Na2CO3 is used to remove the traces of yellow phosphorus. Okay, so after washing we dry the vapor or liquid formed or obtained from the washer, and this is stabilized with 1% magnesium oxide. So this is a dust stabilizer. Okay, or dust, or we can say the traces of yellow phosphorus if present, they are stabilized using magnesium oxide. So after drying we get red phosphorus solid. Okay, so this is how we get a phosphorus. Okay, so one thing to forget, in batch converter we get yellow phosphorus, then change in color occurs and it converts to red phosphorus. Okay, so after batch converter we get red colored solution, but before batch converter we have a yellow or whitish solution. Okay, so this should be remembered. So up till the upper section we have discussed. Lower section is nothing but a purification step for forming a phosphoric acid. I will cover in the next video. Okay, so this video will be longer than expected, so I will cover it in the next video. Okay, so these are the reactions. So Ca3PO4, that is a phosphate rock, first mixed with a coke, and this is a sand that we have seen. So it will give yellow phosphorus up till the batch, before the batch converter, as well as slag is separated and carbon monoxide is separated using electrostatic precipitator and a water condenser. At 250 to 450 degrees Celsius we convert yellow grade phosphorus to red grade. Okay, so this is all about reaction of this. Here we don't use any catalyst. Okay, so only major engineering problem for this case is designing. Okay, so designing, here we can design this electric furnace as well as batch converter. So major engineering problem is designing of both of them. Next is safety in handling phosphorus. So yellow phosphorus is converted direct to phosphoric acid. Okay, and phosphates. So here we are using water, as I have shown you this water. So this is why we are, this is also a major engineering problem, I would say. Okay, so this is only a problem for this case. So okay, so I am done with this video. In next video I will discuss about phosphoric acid industries. So thank you for watching the video, and yeah, share this video. And yes, our 10 subscriber scheme, up to 10 subscriber, if we get the 10 subscribers we will upload a what we can say, this PPT. So thank you for watching the video. Hang on for the next video for phosphoric acid industries. Okay, so in phosphoric acid industry we will learn how we can make phosphoric acid from phosphorus. Okay, so we have two processes we will discuss in next video. So thank you for watching. Join us on Telegram and Instagram. Thank you.